Princess Beatrice married Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi, her millionaire real estate developer, in a secret royal wedding in Windsor. The small family ceremony took place at the Royal Chapel of All Saints in the Royal Lodge in Windsor, and the following day a Buckingham Palace press release was sent out stating that the event was held with the kind permission of Her Majesty the Queen. Explaining the origins of the surprise wedding, the release reported that the couple decided to hold a small private ceremony with their parents, siblings and cousins after postponing their wedding in May. Working in accordance with government guidelines, the service suited the unique circumstances, allowing them to celebrate their wedding with their closest loved ones. In memory of her grandmother, Princess Beatrice wore a vintage Norman Hartnell gown provided by Queen Elizabeth II. The elegant ivory peau de soie taffeta gown with ivory Duchess satin trim and organza sleeves. Encrusted with rhinestones and with a geometric checkered bodice, it was altered and fitted for the princess by Angela Kelly, the Queen's costume designer, and Stuart Parvin. Princess Beatrice also wore the Queen Mary diamond fringed tiara, on loan from her grandmother, which the Queen wore on her wedding day in 1947. The exquisite piece of jewelry was originally made for Queen Mary by Garrard & Company in 1919 from a diamond necklace given by Queen Victoria on her wedding day. The groom, meanwhile, looked solid in his mourning suit. Princess Beatrice's ring was designed by Sean Lin, while the vintage gold Edo ring was designed by Josh Collins. Princess Beatrice carried a summer bouquet of stemmed jasmine, pale pink and cream fragrant peas, royal ivory porcelain bush roses, pink O'Hara garden roses, pink wax flower and pale pink astables. The bouquet also included sprigs of myrtle, a royal wedding tradition started by Queen Victoria. The bouquet was designed by Patrice Van Helden, co-owner of RVH Floral Design, using flowers from Seville Garden and Great Windsor Park. In keeping with the precedent of the royal wedding, the bride's bouquet was later placed on the tomb of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey. This tradition was started by the Queen Mother, then Lady Elizabeth Bowes-Lyon, back in 1923, who made the gesture to commemorate the death of her brother Fergus and other servicemen killed or injured in the First World War. The ceremony was led by the Reverend Canon Paul Wright, Deputy Dean of the Chapel Royal, and the Reverend Canon Martin Pole, Her Majesty the Queen's House Chaplain, with all measures of social distancing in keeping with the circumstances of the pandemic. During the service, their mothers recited two of the couple's favorite poems, Sonnet 116 William Shakespeare and I Carry You in My Heart by E. Cummings, along with a biblical reading of St. Paul's first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 13, verses 1 to 13. Prayers were also read and, although hymns were not sung due to government orders, music was played, including the national anthem. The intimate ceremony was attended by the Queen and her husband, the late Prince Philip, Beatrice and Edo's parents and siblings. Beatrice was led down the aisle by her father, Prince Andrew, with young son Edo Wolfie acting as best man and pageboy. Two afternoon photographs taken by Benjamin Wheeler and published the following evening through the Press Association showed Beatrice and Edo leaving the church after the service with the Queen and Prince Philip. Two more images of the couple were published. Buckingham Palace stated that Her Royal Highness Princess Beatrice of York and Mr. Mapelli Mozzi were touched by the warm wishes they received after the wedding and are delighted to share two additional photos of their happy day. The photos showed Beatrice and Edo on the grounds of the Royal Lodge, ancestral home of Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, after the wedding, every inch the happy newlyweds as they smiled and held hands. Beatrice's wedding was always meant to be modest, without the pomp, ceremony and crowds that witnessed Princess Eugenie's big day in October 2018. The original plan for a wedding in May at the Royal Chapel at St. James's Palace in London with around 150 guests was scrapped due to the pandemonium. It was reported at the time that the wedding was held in July to make sure the Queen could attend before she left Windsor for Balmoral later in the summer. A friend of Beatrice told The Sun, a mass wedding was out of the question because of the coronavirus. They obviously really wanted the Queen to come, so the wedding had to take place before she went to Balmoral, so it was the perfect opportunity. They needed to make the wedding COVID-proof and safe for the Queen, so what could be better than All Saints Chapel with the reception on site at the Royal Box, their family home. Princess Beatrice has been engaged to Edo, son of Count Alessandro Mapelli Mozzi, a former British Olympian and Italian nobleman, since September 2019. They were longtime family friends but began dating in October 2018.